Hi everyone and welcome to NameHero.com. I'm Ryan, the founder and CEO, and today I want to talk about a new feature that we've implemented across our network. So this is to enhance the security of your website. So if you're a basic hosting customer or a reseller hosting customer, you now have this live inside of cPanel. And additionally, if you're a reseller, your customers also have access to this. So please pay attention because this is a great selling point to offer it to your customers. So without a doubt, one of the biggest security concerns that we see, and you've heard me, if you're a subscriber of our YouTube channel here, you've heard me talk about it before. And that's when it comes to WordPress security, as well as any other content management platform out there, or content management system out there, such as Drupal. Because platforms such as WordPress, Drupal, Joomla, there's many others out there, because they're open source and widely available, this means the source code is out there. And so while this is great for development, because since the source code is free, open source, and out there, developers can really customize what it looks like and they can really add to the project. Now, on the flip side, because the code's out there, it's not encrypted and it doesn't cost any money to get, attackers, unfortunately, or hackers, they also have the same code. And what we've seen over the last 10 years, 15 years, even longer than that, these attackers, what they do is they'll look at the code and they'll look at ways to penetrate websites to carry out their evil deeds, whatever they may be. Sometimes they're trying to compromise your website so they can use your hosting account to send spam. Sometimes they try to compromise your website so they can set up phishing pages where they can try to compromise other logins. There's always, they always normally have an objective. And, unfortunately, it's not a specific site that they're trying to target. I know back in like the mid 2000s, early 2000s, it was a specific site that was more vulnerable to attack or another. But nowadays, they're going out just looking for WordPress websites, just looking for Joomla websites. And because they know, since the software is open source, if someone's running an older version, then they can potentially exploit it. So here at NameHero, and I've talked about on the YouTube channel and our blog, is we talk about how important it is to keep your WordPress website updated, keep your Drupal, Joomla, or whatever PHP application you're running the latest version. Because when these vulnerabilities are discovered, the WordPress community actually comes together and they release a patch. And every time they upgrade WordPress, more patches come out and more security features. And it's this project that's grown, and WordPress specifically has grown into the largest content management platform in the world by doing this. And so this is a great way how the project's grown, but at the same time, it's always vulnerable if you're running an outdated installation. So, we preach it, but unfortunately, we still see on a daily basis that, some customers don't want to update WordPress for whatever reason. So to start, the best thing you can do to keep your website safe and secure, if you're a reseller, how to keep your customers' website safe and secure, is keep WordPress updated. Now, since we know that that's not always going to be the case, for whatever reason, some customers, they come on board, they work hard on the site, then they lose interest, or they get busy, or they forget. So we've implemented a new security feature that is now going to actually patch older versions of your WordPress, of your Joomla, or other popular content management systems if it detects you're running an old version. And if it detects that there's a vulnerability in yours, it will apply the patch that it knows about. So again, it's got to know about the patch. So these have to be reported security bugs, but it will patch it and make it more secure. Now, of course, the most secure is to actually update it. So I want to explain how this works and how it looks inside of cPanel, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it. All right, so right now I'm on the main page of NameHero, and I'm going to go ahead and log into my demo account just so I can show you. So if you're following along, you can hover over this and click Login. You can see I'm already logged in, so I'm just going to swap over my window here, and I'm going to navigate to my hosting package. So I'm going to go to Cloud Web Hosting, and we are going to play around with ResellTalk.com, the startup hero. Now, again, if you're on a basic hosting package, any of our basic hosting here, or our reseller, then this is available to you 100% free of charge, included with your package. Now, if you're on a VPS and you want this added to your VPS, please get in touch with our sales team. We are looking at adding them to the VPS as standard, but right now we still have to do that individually. All right, so I want to go into cPanel. So if you're running a reseller account, you'll see the cPanel link, and this is for your main reseller account. If you want to do this for a customer, you need to go into Web Host Manager and then go to cPanel. But cPanel is where you want to be to find this. So this new product, it's called Patchman. And if you've been with other web hosts, you might be familiar with the Patchman brand. Patchman has been around for, I think, about a decade-ish right now. But they actually developed this for a needs they needed themselves. They actually needed this for their own sites, and they developed it and licensed it and got it out there. So I'm not sure how long it's been available to other sites. I think maybe 5 years or so, but don't quote me on that. But Patchman is well known in the industry about helping keep websites safe and secure by applying necessary patches. So you're going to see this inside a cPanel now. Now, if you click Patchman, it takes you over to their dashboard. So this is going to show me if it's detected any issues. Now, I specifically selected this account because I'm running an older version of WordPress. So let's go back to cPanel just so I can show you. And we're going to go to Softaculous down here at the bottom, click WordPress. And you can see, first off, I've got 2 updates available. You can see here. If I click that, actually, it'll bring me to it. Now, I'm running WHMCS and I'm running WordPress, and both of them are out of date. Now, of course, if you're running an out-of-date piece of software, you don't want that to happen. You want to go in here and click and apply the update. But I'm not going to do that till the end of this video so I can show you how Patchman works. So this one here is running 4.7.12. This is an older version. WordPress now, the latest stable version, I think it's 5.1.1. And that's post Gutenberg. Before Gutenberg, still 4.9.9, I believe. But still, 4.7.12 is quite out of date. So if I look at my Patchman dashboard here, you can see some detections that it made, and as well as what the status of them is, the description, and the path. So let's look at some of these files. On March 14th, March 2nd and 14th, and look, I've got 6 pages of them here. Patchman detected that there was some XSS vulnerabilities in WordPress, open redirect vulnerability, and so these are basically insecure permissions vulnerability. And I think if I click this here, it might give me let's bring it up here. Okay, so this will, with a maliciously crafted comment, a WordPress post is vulnerable to cross-site scripting. So this is how your WordPress website can get injected with malicious content. This is a vulnerability of the type of XSS cross-scripting, enables attackers to inject client-side scripts into web pages viewed by others. This vulnerability affects the following application version. So you can see this goes all the way up to WordPress 5.1. And all these versions of WordPress are vulnerable to this injection. So basically, Patchman has detected that there is this injection vulnerability out there. It affects all these versions of WordPress. So it automatically scans your account every single night, and if it detects you're running one of these versions of WordPress and it's not the latest updated version, then you are vulnerable, and it applies the patch to this. So in this case, it detected that this is running an older version of WordPress, once again 4.7.12, which if we go down here, we'll see it on the list, 4.7.12. Way down here, super old version of WordPress. So it detected that we were running that, and it applied the patch on March 17th. So it detected the 14th, applied the 17th. If I click Actions, I can actually undo the patch, which you don't want to do that. And so you can see there's many other, and I just refreshed the page here, but there's many other detections that were made as well, and it was patched because I'm running an older version of WordPress. So this automatically patches your older versions of WordPress, of your Drupal, your Joomlas, and other popular content management systems. And I'll get a full list out there too in a blog post or something so you know, to help keep your website safe and secure. Now, this is by no means a reason not to update. Still, the safest way to have your site secure is to be running the latest version of software, whatever it may be. This is to actually buy you time in between updates. So let's say that, if you are running an older version of WordPress and you're like, well, crap, I'm running some plugins that aren't compatible with the newest version of WordPress, or my theme's not compatible. This will buy you a little bit of time. And during this time, you should be contacting your developer of the plugins. If if it's a well-known plugin, they should have an update for it in a day or two after WordPress releases theirs. But if you have a custom plugin, you need to go back to that developer and say, hey, I need an updated plugin for this version of WordPress. If you're using a custom theme, you want to make sure the theme developer has released an updated version, which all the popular plugins, all the popular themes, they do. But what we see sometimes here at NameHero is customers will have a custom theme that was made, and and they don't ever get it updated. And that's when we see the security incidents, because they don't want to update WordPress because they don't want to break their website, and it leaves them vulnerable to all these injections. And look at all this. Again, I've got 6 pages here, 10 a page, so there's at least 60 of them here. I think if I go to page 6, let's see if it gives me more pages. Yeah, so 6 pages is all I have. But just running this one outdated version of WordPress, I've got over 60 vulnerabilities that is detected and patched. Now again, Patchman, it can't be 100%. Nothing's 100% in security, because there could be other vulnerabilities out there that Patchman's not even aware of yet. So again, this is not a substitute for not updating your website. If you are a customer at NameHero and you go into your cPanel and you click Patchman and you see that stuff has been patched, it's time to update WordPress. And we're about to release the alert system for this. So if you do have a patch applied, it's going to actually send you an email alert to let you know, hey, we detected this outdated version, we patched it for you, but you need to update your scripts. And so this also, Patchman also, not only does it resolve known vulnerabilities, but it will also quarantine malware. So let's say that your website was injected with malware. This website was not, thankfully, and I don't know why it wasn't, but it wasn't. And it would actually quarantine those files as well. So what you'll find inside of your dashboard here is, one, you've got the list of vulnerabilities that have been patched. I can click on applications and it's going to show that WordPress up to date. This means that the latest patches have been installed. This doesn't mean I'm running the latest version of WordPress. So remember that. I know that is confusing. So this is what's detected. Now you will notice I had 2 updates, the other being WHMCS. Patchman does not support WHMCS at this time. So unfortunately, all the main popular content management systems, but not WHMCS, which WHMCS is another application. You should be running the latest version always. So this lets us know that we do have the latest patches installed. And this automatically runs every night. You don't have to manually do anything. This just works, right? But this does allow you to look at and see what is going on. And again, soon we're going to be sending email alerts out. So, hey, you had a vulnerability. We applied the patch, but you need to update. Okay, so this shows the applications. Again, it doesn't show WHMCS. Here's the email address that these alerts are going to be coming to. So this is the demo, my demo account, so it's automatic and stuff. Disable notifications. I do not think we allow this yet, so don't worry about that. Perform scan. So this is interesting here. If you think your website might have some malware, or you want to just do an on-demand scan, you can do that. So you can see, look, now it's scanning. I clicked it twice. But anyways, this is going to scan on demand, like right now. And it takes a while to run. So once you click scan, don't expect an instant result. Give it time, because it's going to go through your entire directories. And it's going to search for malware, known vulnerabilities. It's going to patch the known vulnerabilities. Any malware, it's going to remove it. So this is essentially, it's a malware scanner and patcher all built into one. Great product by Patchman. So this is going to scan and it'll let you know if something's going on. And when you come back and visit this page, it will show you if anything else has occurred. Now, I actually scanned this one earlier, so I know it's not going to find anything else inside of here. So let's go back to Softaculous now. So we're looking at this, and so if you do go to cPanel Patchman, you see this stuff. It is time to update WordPress. Now, Softaculous is our auto installer. Most of our customers, most of our resellers customers use this to install WordPress because it's super easy, right? You just come in here, you go to WordPress, click install, and it's installed. It can also carry out your updates for you. So you can click this update button, and you can see here, it looks like the actual version installation is 4.1.3 and not 1.2. Okay, and so it's probably picking up some of this from those patches. And you can update the Softaculous records. But what we want to do is we want to upgrade to the latest version. So you can see Softaculous here gives us basically 3 choices: the latest version, the latest other stable 5.0, and the one pre-Gutenberg. So that's as much as Softaculous will allow us to do. So at this time, if maybe your dev team isn't quite ready for 5.0, running 4.9.10 is going to be a lot better than the 4.7.12 or 1.3, whatever this may be. But I really recommend going to the latest version. We introduced one-click staging here at NameHero quite some time ago. Even if you're not ready, and say perhaps you're not ready to update WordPress right now because you don't know if it's going to break your site, you can click this pencil icon, And I'm sorry, disregard that. We can click on this here, create staging, the two papers. And you can create a staging environment and update the staging environment first to make sure it doesn't break your website. So in this case, what we do is we need to pick a directory to install this in. So in this case, WP49 populates, but I could call this staging, tests WordPress or whatnot, and I can actually create my staging environment and test it there to see if the update will break the website, to make sure all my plugins, make sure all my themes are up to date. But if you're pretty confident in it, you can just go ahead and just update it here. So there's multiple ways, and this is why there's really not an excuse why you should not update WordPress, because you have the option to create a staging site, test it first to make sure it's not going to break your website. And what we found at NameHero on our blog, once we are very militant about these updates, we check them every single day, and we have software, of course, to alert us as soon as an update comes out. But what we found is the Gutenberg, the 5.0 plus update did not break our site because we've been applying updates consistently over months. So we've consistently applied the WordPress updates, consistently applied the plugin updates, and consistently applied the theme updates. So you should be doing that as well. So, okay, you can create a backup if you'd like to as well. I'm not going to on this, but you can also download a backup. If you go back to cPanel, you can go in here to backups, and you can actually download one here. We also have our complimentary backups here. So I recommend that before you upgrade WordPress, take a backup somewhere. We do have our complimentary backups, but you also should have your own on your hard drive. So go download one from here or grab one from Softaculous. All right, so now we're going to upgrade this, and we can install some additional plugins, loginizers, limit your logins. I'm not going to, though. I just want to upgrade to the latest version. So I click here, and this begins the update. And you can see, updated successfully. So now if I go to Resell Talk, upgraded. So you can see this old version of WordPress that I have has now been updated. And see if you'll one-click me into the WP admin. And I can see it in here. Now, you can look at this one. This is a bunch of comment spam. Because I'm running an old version, I've got a ton of comment spam on here. So tons of them. So if I go to updates as well, you can see that I've got some outdated themes. I've got an outdated WP, managed WP worker. So you also want to keep this stuff updated, your plugins. And anytime you're in your, and I've got it down right now, anytime that you're inside of WP admin and you're seeing an update, you want to make sure that you do it. Now, I just messed this site up because I tried to apply that update before it was ready or whatnot, and I didn't really take my time on it. But anyways, so that's where you want to be careful at. I had not applied updates. I went ahead and just forced that one because I'm talking away on this video, and of course we ran into a little issue. So that's, again, another reason why that you want to have backups before you start going and just blindly updating things. But it is important to update, and to update often, because if you do not, then you can run into big problems. But again, you're going to start seeing these notifications now. You're going to start seeing these inside of your email. So don't be alarmed when you get them. This is how you can go in and check out what's going on. And when you're seeing these, the notice is going to tell you, you're getting this because we detected this. The latest version you should update to. And that's what you should get around to, pretty much immediately. Again, make sure your plugins are updated, make sure your themes are updated before going to the core files. Kind of do that first. Before you do that, but it is so important. And Patchman, we're really excited to get this live because it is going to buy you that time. It is going to reduce the chances, but it's just like a security system at a house. Every night before I go to bed, I lock the door. And that's a layer of security. When I'm asleep, someone tries to get into the house, the door is locked. Does that keep someone out? If they really want to get in, they could break down the door. Well, so I've got an alarm system, so I set the alarm. So now I have a lock, so they can't just open the door. They'd have to break it down, but I also have an alarm. So if they would kick in the door, the alarm goes off real loud. It alerts the authorities. Another layer. I also have a security camera system. So 24/7, 365, if you go to any one of the entrances at my house, it's recording all the time. Now, does that prevent someone from coming in? Well, not 100%. It deters some because they know they're being filmed. But nothing is 100% with security. So look at your website like that. We add Patchman, it's just another layer. It's another lock on the door. But still, the ultimate solution is keeping your website updated using strong usernames username and password. So with the announcement of this new feature, I don't want people to say, well, now I'd never have to update WordPress again, because it's not the case. Actually, if you don't update it, we're going to send you notifications to let you know you need to be updating it. Because obviously, if your WordPress website becomes infected, the process to get that clean is quite large. And those of you that have been through it, me included, and we see customers daily that go through this, it's quite hard to get it all cleaned out. Most of the time, the best solution is starting the account new, recreating the cPanel accounts, uploading new clean files and all that to completely get rid of the attackers. Once they're in, it's hard to get them out, but it's better to prevent them from getting in the first place. So again, Patchman is going to help buy you time, but it should not be a complete substitute to just never updating. It's a good malware scanner. If you've ever had malware on your website, you can come in at any time and do it and do a scan. And you can see this one actually had finished running. And let's see if it, let me refresh this and see if it detected anything. So today's April 11th, 12th, and I'm not seeing anything new. Let's see, let's just sort it just to make sure. And again, this runs automatically each night, so my on-demand scan didn't find anything. And retracted, I think this just means it was an older patch that had taken place. Let's see here, how many retracted we have. Yeah, so those were just retracted things. And now, since I've updated WordPress, let's see if it shows that yet. It doesn't show that I've updated it yet, but it will. Again, this runs every night on the servers, and it updates all this information. So it's going to automatically do this, but if you want to do an on-demand scan, you can. And you can also, manage where your notifications are going. So another feature we have here at NameHero, we also have the Immunify 360, which if you follow our YouTube channel or follow our blog, I've talked about that, which actually has live malware scanning. So, every time you upload a file, it actually scans it for malware. So again, these are more pieces that we're putting in front of your website for security, but it's like locks on the doors. Someone wants in bad enough, they're going to get in. So you can actually take a huge proactive stance by just keeping it updated, because they cannot break into something that they have not yet exploited. And the hackers, attackers, spammers, whatever you want to call them, they know that once they get this whole in or way in, they know there's enough WordPress websites out there running that version that they don't even need to mess with the newest version. And that's why this ongoing update process is so freaking important. So please make sure you're keeping your website updated. There is no substitute for that. But we are really happy, really pleased with the Patchman organization. Me personally, I've spent a lot of time working with some of their higher ups and implementing the solution to NameHero. And we're really glad to have this in your hands, available free of charge for our resellers. It's free of charge to you and your customers, which is a huge selling point. But again, it's to buy you time. It's like that alarm system on the house. It's an extra feature, but also, there can be no substitute for keeping that site updated. If I go back and count the number of times I've said to keep your site updated, it's probably a lot in this video, but there really is no substitute for it. So let us know if you have any questions. Feel free to comment on this video, and I'll provide my feedback as I understand it. And if you ask something that I'm not familiar with, I can ask the Patchman crew as well. Also, can get something out in the blog about this too, because of course, another great feature that we have added complimentary at NameHero.com. So thanks for watching. Thanks for using us here at NameHero. And remember, keep your stuff updated. Have a great day.